Good morning and happy Tuesday. It's great to be back. I've just been off for our very first family holiday. It was lovely to be able to take some time away from work and actually from where we live. We didn't go too far, but far enough that we felt like it was an actual family holiday. So it's nice to be back, and the weather was great, which is always a bonus. So before we launch in today's topic, which is very timely because it is about caregivers taking holidays, we always like to make sure you know how to connect with us and how we can support you. So just a reminder that Family Caregivers of BC is pleased to be able to support family caregivers 8:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday to Friday. And we like to stress that we take confidentiality very seriously. However, with Facebook Live, it's open to anyone that is using Facebook, and so we aren't able to take any steps to protect your privacy or the content that you share. And again, the experiences and the information that we share here are meant to speak to caregivers on a very general level and may not reflect your own personal experience or values. But we do hope that you're able to find some nuggets of information or ideas to support you in your caregiving. And check our website regularly, sign up for our newsletter, social media feeds, as we try to provide regular updates from public health guidelines and support resources. So as I mentioned earlier today, we're talking about taking a holiday and caregivers planning for some time off. And of course, as we've mentioned, the timing for this Facebook Live couldn't be better. We've had several calls from family caregivers wanting to try and take a few weekends away, or in one case, there's one where a family caregiver is really trying to get back to a different province for a really important family event, and is trying to consider how that might look. So as we're starting to loosen restrictions too, we're also now thinking about caregiving, taking holidays while still being really vigilant. Sometimes this actually provides a great deal of stress for both the caregivers and the person they're caring for. And these are very legitimate concerns. Some people have worries such as, how do I minimize my risk of becoming ill? And if I do, who's going to be the backup? Who will look after my adult son with a disability if something happens to him while I'm away? It's going to cost money. How much is it going to cost? And can we even find, the resources in the community? My wife has dementia and doesn't want anyone else to care for her but me. And so how do we manage to try and find a caregiver to come in? So hopefully the following tips we provide are going to help provide some ideas or some strategies to start planning for a holiday. And as we know, and as we talk about regularly here at Family Caregivers of BC, that taking a break is really important for caregivers. When we don't have enough time away from our caregiving responsibilities, we can often just start to feel really tired. We can move towards feeling more burnt out. We often don't have the energy for the things that bring us pleasure. Sometimes we're not as present as we can be in our caregiving activities. And in another breath, then having to try to trust someone else to take care of the person that we're caring for, it can also be a challenge. And sometimes taking a break is also a really important way just to gain further insight into our own current situation, and reconnecting with ourselves or reconnecting with friends or family. Those are just some of the ways that caregivers can benefit from a holiday. The other thing too is that, of course, doing all this planning, we want to make sure that it doesn't go to waste, in the sense that if you're on holiday and you're still worried about the person you're caring for, it doesn't always help with the relaxation piece. So being able to trust in a contingency plan or a process is also really important to be able to take some time away. So the one thing that we always, we say this quite jokingly, is before you go on holiday, make sure you clone yourself. And so obviously we don't mean literally, but having a support system or finding someone that can be that primary caregiver is really important. Of course, it really depends on the needs of the person, of the care recipient, and what they require. In terms of, whether that's one person or two people, or whether it's just, general check-ins during the week, whether it's phone calls, what's already in place. So with this idea that having someone that can be the primary caregiver while you're away is really important. So the other thing, of course, is in the planning process is scheduling some time for that caregiver or for that support network to meet with the person being cared for, or even doing a bit of a trial run. So we had an example where a spouse was going away just for a weekend, and it was the first time that she had done this, and she was feeling a little bit worried. She wanted to make sure things went well, so she had put a plan in place, and they trialed it just for a half a day, just so that the comfort level was really high. So instead of just jumping right in to going on a holiday, did a half day to see kind of how that worked and how the plan worked. So that's some ideas too, is just ways that you can transition to a full holiday. You can try just, by doing it in small steps. If you have family, right now, what we're also hearing is that a lot of families are coming to help and provide some time off in time of COVID-19, as opposed to not being able to access necessarily as much respite as people need, or just having difficulty finding resources, one single person that can provide support. So sometimes now families are helping and supporting each other a bit more. And so if that's happening, this idea that having a bit of an overlap for a transition time is often very helpful. In one of our previous posts around contingency planning, because really that's kind of like, it would be like a forced holiday, the contingency planning, this idea of checklists. And so we always believe it's better to be over-prepared than under-prepared, and that often also helps having trust in the process. So having some really good detailed instructions and a care plan will help ease your mind while you're away. Obviously, it is also really important where possible to include the care recipient in that process, and also to highlight what the person being cared for is still able to do or still does independently, so that they have a real sense of purpose and meaning in this process of the caregiver taking a holiday. It's always kind of nice to get all the financial bits done ahead of time, so just making sure all the bills are paid, that cash can be accessed if needed, in case there's some emergency expenditures. In the idea of this contingency planning, we talk about sort of these emergency contacts. And so I know we've been an emergency contact for a couple of our clients. And so that when the residential care facility, if there's any concerns, they don't call the family first. Obviously, if it's a life or death, they do. But if it's just some generic needs or more information, they'll call the backup or the current person versus the family, so that they can have a true holiday away. So getting some of those bits in place is really important. And making sure that there's lots of information around where all those emergency numbers are kept. And also having a detailed plan of your itinerary as well is really important. So where are you staying? Just so that that's on hand in case you need to do that. In some cases, it's not a bad idea to call the care recipient's physician or case manager, or if they're in assisted living or long-term care or in community living, the key person there, to let them know that you'll be traveling and how you can be reached in a true emergency, but then also to leave them with the contact list. Again, we reference this idea of an emergency plan, so it's also really good to know for everyone to understand what needs to be done in a medical emergency. Kind of have a bit of a process to follow. Also, just ensuring that you have all the proper documentation done, your signed healthcare proxy or representation agreement, should be in place, and its whereabouts should certainly be known. And this idea about starting early, so we know that seems obvious. I'm always surprised at how fast time goes and how time can sneak up us on it quickly. So the general rule of thumb seems to be, to give yourself at least 2 to 3 months to plan for an extensive trip, especially for the first time through. This idea, again, I keep coming back to this contingency planning, but it's also just so relevant. This idea of sort of planning for holiday, but also understanding that it's also a worst case scenario. And so where is there a caregiver safety net? How can it be formed, and how can risks can be managed within reason? Of course, there's no crystal ball. So that's just also a really important, piece around understanding. Taking a break also does mean making sure that there are plans for a worst case scenario. And then I guess the really important thing is that when you do get on that holiday, which I hope you do, that you don't spend every day feeling guilty about being away. This idea of being able to enjoy yourself, knowing that you've planned ahead, and that the person that you're caring for is being well cared for, and that you have the processes and support in place so that you can recharge, you can disconnect, you can reconnect with yourself, and find ways to experience a different view for a couple of days or for a week. So just a reminder on where you can find support and resources. And call our support line. All the information, of course, is on our Facebook site and on our website on how to reach us. And just again, we're available Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. We can support you based on your unique needs, and we can help you bring awareness into your situation. We can listen to you. We can suggest ideas and resources. We could also refer you into more one-to-one support through our caregiver coaching service. And we could help you a bit more with your holiday planning, or help you talk through that. We have our great caregiver support groups, our virtual ones. They're often a great place to talk about taking holidays, because you'll hear from other caregivers on what's worked for them. It's a great place to get some tips and strategies. Also, you can tune into some of our podcasts. They really highlight the caregiver's voice through that. You'll see links on the Facebook page to that as well. We've also just revamped our website in terms of some of the accessibility to some of our resources, so make sure you check that out. And I guess the takeaway or consideration for this month is, have you set some holidays yet? And if not, what's holding you back? If yes, are you feeling really confident about that, or is there some areas that you want to further add to your planning? If you haven't put together a holiday yet, can you consider planning a small getaway in the near future? So I hope everyone has a great couple of weeks. We'll look forward to seeing you in August. Thank you for joining us. Enjoy the lovely weather in whatever capacity you can, whether it's small or big, enjoy. And we'll look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.